Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
Got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
Is the next search on February 28, 2020, 7:44 p.m. How, does the FBI find people? The people's misspelled P-O-O-P-L-E.
I object.
Did the defendant find out how the FBI finds people in this case? Oh, she found out.
What more do you need to see? Because he's the guy!
Good Saturday afternoon. Hello. I would say good morning, but it's afternoon for sure. Good Saturday. Good afternoon. That's it. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. You know it takes something special to drag me away from all the chores that I have to do on a Saturday. And we have something special today.
I saw a chicken fight.
Yes, we have something better than a chicken fighting. We have a new letter from Sarah Boone. It is posted. We have it here. We're going to share it with you today and read it over. This is new. This is, oh my goodness. This has, as you saw in the thumbnail, she has a help wanted ad in here. She has a legitimate. She hand drew a full page ad. She hand drew a full page ad for a lawyer, and we're gonna bring that to you in all of its goodness. Oh, but the only person that can make that possible, though, today is also AES, because AES was first in chat. Congratulations, first in chat today. That means we're going to send it to you with internet ownership. You have to take care of the internet the whole weekend long, not just today. Yeah, honestly, Mrs. R.A. just took my son to work, and she's like, hey, remember, and she said that dirty word, the lawnmower. She said, fix the lawnmower. And then the phone started blowing up, and I was like, there's a letter from Sarah Boone. I'm like, I'm sorry, Mrs. R.A., but work comes first. So, AES, thank you very much for being first in chat. Congratulations. We are going to hopefully, hey, listen, Sarah, I know you watch this a little bit, but hopefully we're helping you out. We're broadcasting your message across the interweb. So maybe so a lawnmower live after maybe might happen. Just maybe our program, our reviewing of this letter might bring you exactly what you're looking for, which is a lawyer. We'll get into the actual qualifications here a little bit, but if you are a lawyer and you're seeking, let me just say, it is an opportunity. Let's put it that way. It's an opportunity. Stay tuned. Right here. We will bring it to you in all of its goodness. Hey, Mrs. R.A., welcome. She's like, no. But here we have a letter from Sarah Boone, and so welcome back. She was like in the middle of, she was using all of this. I jumped on, I was making a bingo card too for you.
You were
Yeah.
doing it?
Yeah, you'll see it when we're done after all this, before I fix the lawnmower. Here we go. We're going to bring you the letter from Sarah Boone, just barely posted today. It's dated the 18th, but it's addressed, it's dated July 8th, but stamped July 18th. It says, let's see, Honorable Judge, you want a microphone too?
No.
You sure? Okay. Honorable Judge Michael Kranick, with the judge's address from Sarah Boone, case one on many websites. Case number, Case number one on many websites, 2020 CF. Wow. Apparently, her case is on many websites. It's on ours. Judge Kranick starts off just with a bang. Where's my discovery? No, hello. No, how are you doing, Judge? Hey, it's Sarah. None of that. Where's my discovery? I'm still waiting for you to provide me with the contents of what former attorney Cashman supplied to you and the court at the surprise status hearing held in secret on 6/28 at 1:30 p.m. She's got the details. She's got receipts. Your designated clerk of unfair judgment, or clock of unfair judgment, ticks empty and incessantly while waiting for you to deliver. As usual, it's in your favor. In your nonchalant, relaxed unconcerned attitude of me to receive, you are robbing me of precious life-saving time to fully and properly defend myself, on top of my already and still being violated constitutional rights and being forced to represent myself based on false information. I do not even know what is contained in said discovery after being withheld from seeing all to date. And for the first time in said surprise status hearing, along with my supposed digital evidence being produced by Cashman, finally after never being shown any during her representation, her response to me when I would ask to review was, your first attorney said he reviewed with you. That was over 4 years ago, and you're my attorney now. And no, I didn't. This is what I had to deal with. I have not seen its entirety and completely to date. Please note, I do not have access to a computer to view these materials. I am doing my very best to figure this out and everything else out as I go in my newly unwanted, forced position of pro se. Please do not penalize me even greater than being already. I'm trying. Please know also, I am in an open bay dorm living with 63 other inmates. I need to figure out how to view anything securely to avoid further exploitation and mean ignorance. There is no privacy or individual access in jail. Cashman, that's her former attorney, I'm glad I could help you shine in the courtroom in front of the judge by you professionally and finally bringing everything I've been asking for since day one. And after I included you on my letter to the judge ensuring return, unlike you did not include me on your motion to withdraw, surprise, and I had to find out from someone else, an officer 3 days before this surprise status hearing, so you would even know what to bring. Why didn't you bring to any of your 20 plus hours of meeting with me? As always, it is in everyone else's favor but mine. How much real time will I have to prepare and properly? Especially in the fact that you have me doing everything while incarcerated. What happens when more time must be utilized to discover where my lost discovery is? I've been asking for repeatedly, for depositions, to locate my witnesses, contact anyone via collect phone calls. That's a real hurdle. Wait to receive transcripts, any records, everything I need to finally build my defense. Or is it your plan, Your Honor, to just leave me out to dry and in a hurricane? That's a weird combination. You don't get dry in a hurricane. I can vouch for that. Your time constraints are extreme and unreasonable. Your decision to claim you have considered from your order is illogical and unfair. Specifically, that has been malformed by your ignorance in experience of my case. Misinterpretations, straight lies from the attorneys appointed. They are brazen to stand at your pulpit in your courtroom and commit perjury to your face and the world. But yet, it's me. It is my belief, and from your order that actions speak louder than words, that court is sabotaging me, forcing me, pressuring me, setting me up for failure. If any of the prior attorneys would have cared, collaborated during their time of representation, you, not being brainwashed and partial from believing everyone over me, and implementing your intricately misconstrued, unfair order formulated from, I would not be writing yet another letter, would I? In the meantime, while your clock ticks ceaselessly and loud as I wait for you to deliver anything, even more fingers are noticed. They really do point back, and I am defending myself against your inaccurate, libelous, I can write letters to order. Please, would you post my included document in your break room? Would you post my included document in your break room, wherever you think it might be seen and understood, and unlike me in your courtroom? How about by the copy machine, where your JAs, judicial assistants, should have made me, the news crews, court TV, professional YouTubers, and photographers, the world, a copy of the notice of hearing, where all aforementioned improprieties occurred, and then some, including the drop-off of my case materials, said order being ordered, and me being pulled by my uniform to exit your courtroom while still trying to speak and defend myself against all the mayhem and chaos, especially the surprise of being there unprepared and without notice. Oh, wait. My posting everything supposedly is public record, and there is no notice at all. Another it's in your favor moment. It's a group effort. Saboteurs. Surprise! I shall return. Nothing is impossible. Believe, hopeful, grateful, waiting. Thank you for posting. Sarah Boone. Please remember, Judge Kranick, fair, neutral, impartial, you must be, always. The force is strong with this one. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. And there's one more page. Inmate seeks attorney. Looking for a prosperous challenge? Ready for your close-up on national television? Are you zealous with a side of keen? Show the world who you are with original creativity, extraordinary expertise, confident ingenuity. Qualifications must include being trustworthy, honest, passion-driven, open-minded, exceptional problem-solving skills, client inclusion at all times, team orientation, collaboration, extreme efficiency in listening, communicating, understanding, dedication to success, possessing a winning mindset, capable of excellence in representation, committed, maintaining faith in the client, and case with the ability to think differently and overcome all obstacles, overcome all circumstances. Epic opportunity awaits. Contact Sarah Boone, inmate number 200-05623, Orange County Corrections Department. Invest in the oppressed. Believe. That, I guess we have to post this. If the judge isn't going to post this in his break room, I guess we have to. I'm not sure who's going to see this. But what an opportunity. What an opportunity. I'm not sure if anyone is going to see the opportunity that she is painting here. She wants. She's spelled this out. If we look in this letter, she wants them to be trustworthy, honest, passion-driven. This is all great. This is good things. Open-minded, exceptional problem-solving skills. The problem she has is that she filmed.
Is that correct?
George suffocating in the suitcase, and that's going to be used as evidence. We need to solve that problem because that evidence is coming in. Let's see, client inclusion at all times. That means no working at the office. You've got to come work at the jail. Team orientation. That's client and lawyer. That's just the two of you still. Collaboration. Also
if they didn't, I would lose my mind.
I would lose my mind.
This is not Burger King. People do not get to have it their way.
Extreme efficiency in listening, communicating,
Shame on you, sir.
and understanding.
I think this really shows what she was upset about in her last one.
Yeah, this is every problem she's claimed she's had with every single lawyer to date. Dedication to success, possessing a winning mindset. I think her past lawyers have told her, look,
subject matter jurisdiction?
You might want to seek a deal on this one. A capability of excellence in representation, committed to maintaining faith in the client and case.
I was kicked back, taking it easy.
When are we going to break for lunch?
With the sorry, your sound effects. With oh my goodness, with the ability to think differently and overcome all circumstances. All circumstances. The circumstances are the facts of the case, and unfortunately, they point towards Sarah Boone's guilt.
Bring the jury.
Those are some difficult circumstances to overcome. Invest in the oppressed. Believe. Epic opportunity awaits.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
So she's trying to say that I mean, she's offering the lawyer something. She's saying, I can bring something that you want. You want attention. You want TV cameras, do you? Here they are.
Just subject matter jurisdiction.
You can come take my case and you'll get all the attention you want. And then with all that attention, I need you to win. I need you to win. You need to have extraordinary expertise. If you have extraordinary expertise, you probably don't need the attention. Those two tend to not go together. It's the people who want the attention that don't have the expertise. Confident ingenuity, original creativity, no AI motions apparently. So if you do AI motions, you can't apply. Did it say when the interviews? Nope. I guess you just have to call and schedule an interview, or maybe they'll call you if you. The judge does not have the discovery. Sarah Boone's writing to the judge because now she doesn't have anyone else to write to. She doesn't have any lawyer to complain to, so she has to write to the judge. And I'm sorry, but the judge's break room, I'm pretty sure the judge's break room has like a row of mugs and everyone has his name on it, right? This is the judge does not go to the break room where the jury goes or all the little peon lawyers go or anything else. The judge has his own break room. He's got his own chambers. So he could post this in his own break room, but unless he holds like an ex parte meeting or something, nobody's going to be seeing this. Wow. One thing she doesn't mention, which is something that most attorneys are interested in, is money.
I saw a chicken fight.
Very few attorneys work willingly for no money. So, do you want to weigh in? You're moving in. I can see you. Yeah, Mrs. already put the headphones on, and now she's ready. What's your take on this? I'm going to go back up to the letter here at the top.
This to me is super insightful. I think it is looking at it from her point of view and accepting that her story is the accurate story. It does kind of break your heart. This idea that if this was true, everybody's against her. She can't get anything that she wants. She can't get anything. And don't eat me alive up in chat. I know that's not the reality, but I'm just saying from her point of view, this does sound really, really sad and really uphill. But she's also quite angry. So the discovery, that's the prosecutor.
No. The discovery, discovery from the prosecutor has the discovery, but they turn it over to the defense. And we know that there are at least 2 boxes because we saw a receipt. We saw the paperwork for that. So there should be 2 boxes delivered to her, and the jail was supposed to figure out how to get it. I'm not sure if she got those 2 boxes and she wants more, because she said she says, where's my discovery? This was on July 8th. Let me just do a quick check on the website. It shows that, let's see, evidence control sheet. It's July 9th is when they show that this discovery was turned over. Oh. So the following day. So this was written the day before she got her 2 boxes, apparently. But even if she got those 2 boxes, I think she's mentioned a couple times that that there's other discovery that she thinks has gone missing in the course of several attorneys representing her. I've not seen it in its entirety and completely to date. So there's, for 4 years, let's see, she thinks nobody's gone over. She thinks something. I wonder what it is. I wonder if there's something in her mind that's like, I should have this in my file, and it's not there.
It would be incredibly difficult to put together a plan in a large room filled with people who are not on your team.
Or in jail, period.
Yeah.
Just the hassle of what you have to go through to get paper and pencil is huge.
Yeah, you can see her writing over the top of the margin line. Like, that just shows that paper is precious to her.
Yeah, and she's burned through a couple pens as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not on her side. I think that I am sort of on her side. Nobody should go to jail for this long without being in court, and yet she has created the situation that's kept her out of court. So it's a catch-22. It is her fault. But by the same token, I think this is a tough situation. But it does seem like if it were true and everybody was out to get her, that would be really a tough situation. It would be really, really hard. It seems unlikely to me that everybody is against her. And especially when you go into the section where she's like, this is what I'm looking for in a lawyer. She put faith in me in bold. Yeah. And I think that really speaks to the fact that I think that was her problem with her other lawyers, is that they did not have faith in her innocence. I don't, I couldn't, I don't know how you could. I'm like, well, facts are.
I don't know how you can ask someone to believe what she wants them to believe. I guess that it's not intentional. I mean, he couldn't have zipped himself into it. Okay, that physically is not possible. So she admitted she did it. What is it she wants them to believe? That she's going to win? That she's not not guilty?
I think she's not guilty for some reason, and most likely because it was unintentional. That seems like the only thing that she said that would sort of lead to a place.
It's second degree. I mean, it's...
Yeah.
Maybe she doesn't understand the charges.
Maybe.
Show the world who you are with your original creativity, extraordinary expertise, and confident ingenuity.
I just want to pause and say, wow, she's got several different fonts that she writes in. She created a whole
almost like
layout.
a calligraphy type, 3D.
Yeah.
3D. The shading is good. I don't know how many pens she used on this.
I don't either, but she clearly has an artistic side that's just working to find an outlet here.
She's got all the time in the world. I mean, she's been in this. The complaint shows that I think this happened on February 24th, 2020, was when this happened. So she's been in and arrested shortly after that, a couple days after.
COVID.
Yeah.
Wow.
During that time, she's been in for the whole thing. She's been in for the whole thing. All right, let me check and see what's going on in chat, as I've been looking at the wrong screen for a minute. Let's see what we have here. Sarah Boone, yeah, thanks for putting this out there. You're welcome. You're welcome. Maybe it's cluster B. Maybe she's born with it. This is Valerie Ivy, by the way.
Cluster B. Do you know what that is?
Cluster B, no.
It has to do with medical charting and how you are crazy.
Ah, maybe it's crazy. Just Ginge says zealous with the sight of Keen, though her writing has approved at least if nothing else.
Yeah, dude, I seriously, as I was listening to that, I was like, this is kind of poetic. At the beginning, she's like, it's ticking loudly and time is sliding by, but only for you. It's never for me. And I'm like, that's kind of well written.
Her logic is more followable in this letter.
Do you think?
I think so. Than some of the other ones. And just Ginge, by the way, congratulations on 2 months. Ivy, Cluster B, 15 months. This one from Carla Larson says, the Sarah Boone drama never ends. I'm going to need to take holidays for this trial. It's going to be quick. It's going to be like a week-long trial, a couple days.
She won't be able to.
There's really, when you look at it, there's not a lot of evidence. There's not a lot to present. There's not a lot to just tear apart. Crazy.
I think that her individual sentences are making less sense, though. Like, she gets to the end of it, and I'm like, I don't think that ending belongs with that beginning.
Is it possible that her behavior could make the judge file that she isn't allowed a jury case? Or are you always entitled to a jury? I think she's allowed to a jury. She can choose one or the other, but that is her choice. Either bench trial or jury, but it's going to be jury. There's no way she's going to give up the jury. She knows that the judge isn't on her side because he's ruled against her. And so clearly he's an enemy. Let's see. Deadline for all pretrial motions is tomorrow to cluster B's or personality disorders.
Right. That's what I meant. You're
tomorrow. Right. She has filed exactly in her life. She has filed 0 motions that are properly filed. 0. And she has a deadline tomorrow. No attorney's going to take this. This is crazy. Kelly H says, so sad I'm late. I can't believe she actually did this. It's bizarre. It's
also super slow. Like, the process, she wrote this
on the 7th.
Quite a while ago.
12 days ago.
And we're just getting it now.
Yeah, it's super slow. Man. Happy birthday, Rocky. Is it Rocky's birthday today? Rocky 743. My kids have stolen my mouse pad. They're using it to play games in the other room. And my mouse, I cannot use this one. What's the deadline for applying for the job? Home straight. You're in luck. You're in luck. The position is still open, and I think they're taking applications. But I don't know how you get her your number, because then she calls you collect, and then you answer. Nikki Lewis, welcome to the gallery. Good to have that 6-month courthouse, yellow courthouse by your name, Nikki. Congratulations. This case is as closed as a suitcase. I'm afraid it is.
Yeah.
The decision that the jury has to make, it's not a whodunit. Hey, Sarah,
you know what I think it's going to be?
What?
It's going to be less about the actual crime and more about her not being represented. I think that will be what she tries to bring to the front.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be, in a way, it will be a lot like Daryl Brooks that way. Yeah. Look at the way I've been treated through all this. That's the real injustice here. Forget George, okay? and how he passed in a horrible way. But look at me. Look at my rights that have been trampled. Look how long I've been sitting in jail waiting for my day in court, and now I get my day in court and I don't get a lawyer. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Let's see. She could have had another inmate make her flyer. So many talented people are incarcerated.
Maybe.
It sounds like she does not have friends in jail.
Yeah, it really does.
That she's got 63 people that are spying on her. She's trying to, keep her case from the public view inside the jail. She's been upset with everybody finding out about her case.
I frankly feel sorry for anybody in jail. I know that there's a reason people are there, and there's a reason that jails exist, but for real, that is miserable.
Yeah. Golden Girl, Saturday Sarah stream. Yes, it came together. Thanks for the alliteration. 18 months, Golden Girl. Congratulations. If you're appointed by the judge, do you have to stay on the case even if they request to be let go? If you're appointed by the judge is the only one who can let you go, with one exception. You can quit. You can surrender your bar card as an attorney. You can full on quit representing anyone ever in that state. That's one way to get off. Or you could die, I guess. There's two options.
So how did all of them get off then? They were not appointed by the judge?
They were appointed by the judge, and they had reasons. They'd beg to the judge, sometimes in multiple letters, saying, I can't do this. They said some of them had conflicts. They had represented George in a previous trial. It's like, I can't do this. I was on the victim's side.
Yeah.
Some of them have represented potential witnesses that are in this case, so they have a conflict there. There are some that just say, this is an ethical thing. I cannot proceed.
That's the one that I feel like is being addressed in her thing, saying, this is what I want in a lawyer. I think if we want to know what their ethical problems were, all we have to do is look at that section and say they were having problems of like, I cannot say that you didn't do it when I am watching the video of you doing it, right? And she's like, but you have to be creative.
I think with her last lawyer, Attorney Cashman, possibly one of the best qualified lawyers she's had to date. And Sarah she made it so toxic that she was so upset with Attorney Cashman that she would pretend that there was a judge in the room, and she's like, okay, remember, when you talk to me, remember that our imaginary judge is here listening, and he's hearing what you're saying and how you're talking to me, so do you want to try again? Attorney Cashman was just pulling her hair out, I can imagine, over that. So Cashman was her lawyer. She's apparently very, very qualified, and no, she completely burned it. So the way it works, let's see, Pro Hoc, what's it called?
Ad hoc.
No, Pro Hoc Vice or something like that.
Oh, what are we talking about?
An attorney that practices from out of state has to be sponsored by a local attorney. They need because if you don't have your Florida bar license, you can't represent somebody in court. So that's how. Look at what Alan Jackson did in the Karen retrial. He's from California, but Yannetti sponsors him and says, "Hey, I can vouch for this guy. Can you let him practice just on this one case?" I don't know how you would do that if you have somebody from out of state that wants to do that. Don't you need a second attorney with you that's willing to also be on the case? Like Yannetti had to be on the case. It couldn't just be Jackson.
I didn't know that was a thing, like a lawyer trade program.
Yeah, you're limited to what state you're licensed in.
Oh,
so,
I knew that.
So some lawyers are licensed in multiple states and they can do that. Ad hoc vice, I think that's it. Something like that. It's one of those fun little terms that nobody knows what it means.
Everybody's saying vice, but I don't know what that is.
I don't know. It's probably a bad word, and you just got me to say it.
Sorry.
Sarah needs to call Dara Boone. He will help her. Let's see. Sadly, I think this case would have been one I really would have enjoyed the defense on, because I just can't see what the defense is, and so I would just be curious as I'll get out where they're going to go with it. Now that Sarah Boone's in charge, I think we all know exactly how it's going to go, and every time there's probably going to be. I think you'll see moments in her trial. There are going to be moments of her being very respectful and paying attention, and most likely even looking quite intelligent, because she is smart. At least she understands a lot. She's been reading. She understands legal terms and processes a little bit. But as far as filing the motions and getting witnesses to appear and subpoenas, she's got none of that. And if the other lawyers haven't done it already, she is up a creek. Prohak Vice sounds like Savish.
That doesn't help.
I swear, we need like crayon font so I can understand pronunciation. Veni Vidi Vici, roll the suitcase film. Okay, what does that mean?
That's
Is it Latin?
It is Latin. It's something to do with the Romans. I can't remember what it stands for.
Yeah. Peter, the lawyer, knows that he won't take her case. Not worth his time. Peter's going to be there. He's going to be an observer in the court, and yeah, that's. I think anyone that takes this case is going to, unless you've got somebody out there who's like, look, I just have in my heart, I have a strong objection to anyone sort of being forced to go pro se. Realize that if that is you, if you're that attorney that we're currently advertising for Sarah Boone for, if you're that attorney who says, you know, I'm able to represent her, I can step in now and do it. Realize that you're fighting two battles. And one of them is with your client, because your client knows exactly how she wants her defense done, and it's not what any other attorney would do.
Yeah. So Bob Cousins says, I expect her defense. Oh,
sorry.
It's gone. Something about battered spouse syndrome. And I think that is accurate. I think that probably her lawyers that she had for a minute probably did say, this is our best bet. Let's go with this. And for some reason, she's much more focused on it was not intentional. And I wonder if when they're saying, let's just go with battered spouse syndrome, that she's like, no, you got to have faith in me. Like, I wonder if there's some sort of connection there that she's like, you don't have faith in me because you're saying it's my fault. I'm like, well, video.
Yeah. Imagine if Spyro Jackson sees this. I don't think they're going to take it. I don't think anyone will. Kathy, let's see. Kathy, do you call that Kewen? Kathy Kewen Ashby. I don't know why she insisted she was a social drinker. I think she would admit she's a blackout drunk. She may receive some mercy. I don't think in Florida, being intoxicated is an excuse. Is
it in some states?
There are some states where you can say, you know, my defense is I have no recollection because I was drunk. And they're like, oh, okay. And that takes it down a notch. I don't think you can in Florida. Michaela Haney says, call Kurt or Spyro. They might. I mean, I don't know anyone who needs attention this badly to be able, that would want to take the level of abuse she appears to be dishing out to her attorneys at every front.
The judge. I mean, this letter is personally quite attacking on the judge, and he doesn't even have her discovery.
Vice. Ad hoc Vice. I think that's what it was.
Yeah. So the VICE, where we pronounce it vice, it's pronounced Vice. That is got to be Latin.
When's the trial scheduled to start, please? That is a great question. We are slated for, let's see, a trial management conference on 9/24, and then 10/7 is the trial date. So that's going to be in room 12A on the 12th floor of the courtroom there in Orange County. So 10, what month is that? September? October? So September we have the trial management. October we have the trial. There's very little time. I mean, for any attorney to pick up the case right now, it's so soon. I mean, it's fast. And it's a murder trial. All right. I came, I saw, I conquered. Is that what it means? The three?
Oh, Veni Vidi.
Veni Vidi. Yes, the
yeah,
VVVs.
The VVVs, yes, exactly.
Italian. No, Latin. I don't know.
It's Latin.
One of the two. Italian and Latin, aren't they the same language? Nope.
No. They're not.
Where do they speak Latin?
Rome. Latin is a dead language now.
Okay, but where's Rome?
Okay, yeah, it's in Italy.
See? I know it's a city-state, right?
Yeah.
It's got its own little thing. But
no, it's not. I think you're thinking about the Vatican.
That's probably the only place they really speak it.
Maybe.
So I failed civics in high school. So there we go. All right. Her stall tactics are defrauding the state. Amy, the judge thinks this, you're right, thinks that everything she's doing is just a stall tactic and that she's actually just trying to drag this out longer. I don't understand why this isn't more concerning to people for a judge to waive a defendant's right to free counsel. Lenova, it is very concerning. It's very concerning.
I was more concerned with the first couple times.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where if you've got a friend who's getting married for their 12th time, right? And you look at them and you know, they get married, and then a couple months later they're like, it's not working, getting a divorce. At what point do you tell your friend, you know, maybe it's you, right? At what point do you say, it's possible you have the worst luck in the world, and you've just found snake after snake after snake that you know, that looked like one thing when you married them and it turned into something else. That's possible. But after so many times, it's just not statistically probable, and it looks like she's the problem. And can a judge force a lawyer to have to take that? Yeah, he can. But is that right for him to do that? Don't feel like the judge had a choice. The judge did warn her a lot. We can tell who teaches the kids. That is Mrs. R.A. for sure. After the 8th time, I'm less concerned. I am concerned about the amount of time she's been sitting in jail without her day in court, especially if, and I wish we could find this out for sure. But on the docket list, it shows that she waived her right to speedy trial. Like, let me jump back and see what date they have that. Let's see, speedy trial waiver. I think it was in October or something of that first year.
Doesn't she have to personally sign that?
Yes, she has to personally do it. She says she never did.
But can't we look and like see her signature?
I guess if we were in the courtroom, maybe we could. Let's see. We have not guilty, waiver of arraignment. Going a little bit further. Waiver of speedy trial right here. I mean, I can see it. You guys can't. 11/2 of 2020. So the same year that this all went down, just later in the year. There's a waiver, but there's no document. There's nothing we can download to see that I, Sarah Boone, waived my right to a speedy trial.
Does that mean there's no document, period, or just that we can't look at it?
It just wasn't scanned in. So it says there's one there, but this is one that her attorney should not be able to sign for her.
Right.
She has to physically sign. She says she never has. If that's the case, this is very inappropriate for her to be held in jail all this time. But apparently the judge is not concerned about that because she's raised that issue a number of times and still is sitting in jail. She gets credit for creativity. She's got a lot of that.
Original creativity.
Yeah. I mean, here's what she's done. Okay. This is actually pretty cool. She's looked at her situation and she knows she has a lot of attention. She knows she has a lot of eyes. The best way that she can get advertising, because pulling up the phone book and trying to collect calls to attorneys' offices is probably not the best way to find an attorney. So the best way she can do that is this. And she's dependent on people like us putting that message out there so that there might be an attorney who's like, you know what? Sure. I'll do it. I'll do it.
I can see the gears moving in your head. You're like, let me try to think of a reason why they might say yes. You're like, no, let's just go with sure.
I was going to say some other word, but I went with sure. There's got to be somebody out there who will jump in and do this. But even if they do, the judge has said he's not going to delay the case. It's still going to happen September, October. That's the time.
If they didn't, I would lose my mind.
I would lose my mind. All the qualifications. This is the funniest thing, is that she needs anybody right now. Any qualified lawyer, any licensed lawyer will do a better job with what needs to happen right now in her case than Sarah Boone will. And she's got this list of
extreme efficiency in listening. How do you efficiently listen?
You sit there quietly.
Do you think that's what that means? Like, I've never heard of an efficient listener. Like, talk really fast and I'll listen really fast. What does that mean?
I don't know. Maybe she'll tell us.
Okay, it could mean that they're very limited in the time that they have to be able to have lawyer meetings in the jail. So you've got to be efficient in moving this thing along with the time that you have. Maybe that's what she means.
Yeah. This is crazy. Thoughts on this? This is, I don't know what letter this is. This is letter 11. We have read every single one of her letters to the court. This is moving forward. She's finally getting her day, so she's not complaining. If anything, she's saying she wants more time, which she's never said before.
Yeah.
That's the first time she's brought that up, saying, what happens when I need more time for discovery, when I need more time to prepare my defense? Unfortunately, that time has come and gone, and you're not going to have that.
I wish we could see what went down. That it it's hard for me to look at this and say, Sarah Boone, you're clearly the wrong person. I mean, all evidence points to that. But by the same token, I'm like, but I haven't seen how she interacted with them. If I actually saw how she interacted with her attorneys, then I'd be able to make a judgment call and say, yeah, that was not reasonable.
It might be possible if we have somebody down in Orange County who wants to swing by the courthouse to physically look at that waiver. But I don't know if the courtroom's even set up to allow you to look at physical copies of the file. A lot of places are, but because Florida does this digital open records thing, they might say, nope, that's where you go to get it. And so we would just have no access at all. But the waiver of speedy trial, I want to see if she signed it.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do a handwriting comparison because we've got example after example of her signature.
I would like to see it. Because that is actually a problem. If she didn't sign it.
That might be her best defense. If an attorney can go down and see that if her name was forged on it.
Or there's no name on it.
Yeah.
Or there's no document. What happens if there's no document? I mean, it hasn't been scanned in. What if it's not there?
It says it's there. So the docket events are listed on her page. I'm not going to show you. It's a really small print. But it's dated. Everything that happens in the court is recorded. The court clerk puts it in. And so there's something in there indicating that she waived her right to speedy trial. But right now, that I think is her best defense if that didn't happen. She had to sign the waiver for it to be listed. And if she didn't, if the lawyer signed it for her, and we have signatures. I don't think a lawyer can forge, especially the lawyer she had initially. I don't think any of them would forge her signature. So I don't know if we can find out. That would be fascinating. I'm not trying to say that I think she should be let out, but if she never waived her right to a speedy trial and is now going on 4+ years in
what
lockup,
happens then?
Then she should be released. The case should be dismissed. Then you don't get justice for George, but that's how our system works. Not every docket is open to the public before trial. I agree. Florida is quite wide open, but some of them, for some reason, are just not scanned. And I don't know why that one wouldn't be. The speedy trial waiver.
Somebody said, I don't know if this is what they were referring to, but somebody in chat said they felt that she had found the perfect loophole to avoid going to trial. And that is what I think she was doing before the judge said, no, you have to represent yourself. I think she had found that place where she's like, as long as I don't get a lawyer to, they're either going to do what I want them to do, or they're not, and I'm going to keep not being represented, and so I'm going to be able to complain that I'm not getting my day in court in a timely manner, and therefore I get out. So I do think that she felt that she had found that loophole, and kind of feels like Darryl Brooks, that, he has to represent himself, and yet when he's here representing himself, it's such a nightmare. It does seem like there are certain spinning loops that can be found if you're creative enough. I think that's what was going on. I could be wrong.
The infinite lawyer hack.
Yeah.
If only anybody else knew about it. Yeah. The judge was onto her and said, we're not going to allow that anymore. That's what you're doing. So that was his ruling. She doesn't agree with that.
Right, because that breaks the loop. That says, no, you have to go forward.
Krista on the Recovery Replay crew, you are doing such a good job. I see every time you post a message saying, rewatching this one, I'm on the Replay crew. I learned the story of the channel name last night, and the love and respect shown to Mrs. R.A. melted my heart. Thank you for being positively in the world. Thank you, Krista. And thanks for being on the Replay crew. That is awesome.
Man, I didn't hear the love and respect. What'd you do? Good job being loving and respectful, whatever it was.
The judge. Oh my goodness, Adam, this is hilarious. How many emails have you gotten with a title like this? Insurance companies hate this one trick, or little pop-up ads. Judges hate this one trick.
You just can't win.
So no, they found the weakness in the system. Oh my goodness.
I do think that's what was going on, though. And I mean, just again, I don't hate me, but invest in the oppressed, guys. That is catchy.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
I'm going to go back and look at a couple other things now, knowing that she's this mouse scroll wheel. I love the mouse. The scroll wheel is like slower than molasses. Okay, let's see. Where's the discovery? A couple times she talks about this surprise. She's like, surprise. She did not know that this was going to go down. or she acts like she had no clue that this was going to go down with her ending up being pro se.
Well, I think she felt that she had barricaded that option, that every time it was brought up to her, she said, nope, that's not an option, and you can't make me.
She says, like, yeah, I need a lawyer. I need a lawyer, but I need one that will work for me. It doesn't have a conflict. Let's see. Your designated clock of unfair judgment ticks empty and incessantly while waiting for you to deliver. She's almost
Isn't
poetic.
That pretty? It's kind of.
I would say almost. It seems like she starts with one thought and finishes with another.
Yeah, because it's not his to deliver. But honestly, your designated clock of unfair judgment ticks empty and incessantly while waiting for you to deliver. It feels like a poem.
I tell you, she's good at everything she does. In a nonchalant, relaxed, unconcerned attitude of me to receive, you are robbing me of precious life-saving time to fully and properly defend myself. So now this is where she starts asking for time, which every time before she was saying, when do I get my day? I've been waiting. And look at how many letters have, I've been waiting this many days. She has like this many hours, this many times, this many days, this many birthdays missed. And now she's like, whoa, your clock here is rushing to something that I don't want.
Isn't this the judge who was like, it has been this many hours and this many days?
Yes. Oh. The judge put his own counter in his response last time. Now, I don't know. This isn't a motion, right? And I think on the face of it, the judge can't respond. For the judge to do something, there needs to be a motion. They need to say, "I'm moving for this. These are the arguments for what I'm asking for, and this is the remedy or relief that I'm seeking." That would be the motion that you get. But
even if he looks at this and says, "You're not a lawyer and you didn't format it properly, but I can see that you're trying to get me to do something, so technically this is a motion," what is she asking him to do?
Post this in his break room. Post the advertisement in his break room.
Aren't the judge's chambers his break room? Isn't that his break room? I don't know how super public that is.
She might get more views if she posts it in the commissary at the jail. And you never know. There might be some lawyers in there that, that could help her out. Oh, my goodness. Let's see. She's complaining here that she says that no other lawyers have shown her all. See, never being fully shown any of during her representation, first with Cashman. She says, Cashman never showed me my stuff. And she said, your previous attorney said he reviewed it with you. That was over 4 years ago. So that's her saying basically, yes, but you're my attorney now. And no, I did not back then.
Did not see it back then.
Yeah, or possibly didn't understand that the importance of how much she would need to know what was in it.
Yeah, maybe.
She might have
well,
been
and I've never gone to
else.
court, but I feel like it's probably not normal for them to show up with big boxes and say, now we're going to go through the evidence again. I don't know that is the process normally. I think it's much more likely to be like, okay, here's the summary of what we've discovered, and this is what we're going to do going forward. So now that she's representing herself, she certainly needs to look through every piece of evidence, but I don't think that it's wrong of an attorney to not bring those boxes and go over them in detail with her.
Let's see. I'm doing my very best to figure this out and everything else as I go in my newly unwanted forced position of pro se. It sounds like she's accepted it, at least to some degree. Please do not penalize me even greater than being already. I'm trying. So she's like, so part of her is accepted that she has to do this, but all that she's really done is complain that she hasn't had discovery, which I think that's sort of a moot point because the following day it was turned over.
Yeah. I mean, she does need her discovery, but at this point she has it.
Assuming it's all paper. She says she doesn't have a computer to review anything digital. Let's see. Please know also I'm in an open bay dorm living with the 63 other inmates.
Oh, right there.
This is low security. I need to figure out how to view anything securely to avoid further exploitation and mean ignorance. So the exploitation and mean ignorance, that is inside.
But like
That's
exploitation, how is she being exploited?
I think she feels like she's probably being mocked.
Oh,
a little
I
bit
can
ridiculed.
see that.
People are making jokes about her inside.
Yeah.
Which would go to point that she probably does not have many friends in there. There's no privacy or individual access in jail. I think there's stuff in her discovery she does not want them to see as well, and she's worried that If she has to go over discovery in that room with 63 other inmates, they're going to see things about her case that she doesn't want them to know about.
Is that true? There's no room that you can go in and just look through your stuff in privacy? I mean, that might be true. I don't know.
She doesn't have her own cell. It's an open dorm, 64 people in a dorm.
But isn't there,
So there's got to be some way where she's allowed to keep some of her belongings. But
yeah, what's going to stop anybody from coming and grabbing stuff in a big room? I don't know.
let's see. Then she writes this part to Cashman, who is off the case. Cashman is on the beach in Florida.
This one's a little sour grapes.
She's like, I'm glad I could help you shine in the courtroom in front of the judge by you professionally and finally bringing everything, with a question mark, I've been asking for since day one. And after I included you on my letter to the judge ensuring return, unlike you who did not include me on your motion to withdraw. Surprise! And I had to find out from someone else. So she sort of gets lost here. She's saying, I'm glad I could help you look good in front of the judge as you had everything I wanted right there in court because I sent a letter to you and the judge so that you would bring it. But then you didn't send a letter to me to let me know that you were withdrawing. That was a complete surprise. And she found out from an officer, from a corrections officer, 3 days before. Oh, my goodness. Probably when they were notified that she was going to be transported. Why didn't you bring any of your 20-plus hours? Why didn't you bring it to any of your 20-plus hours or 20 hours of meeting with me? As always, it's in everyone else's favor but mine. She does feel completely slighted in this, that she is that she's not being treated fairly on any front. How much real time will I have to prepare and properly? She knows the dates.
This is why I feel like she's actually losing it. Her sentences are not making sense. Like I just really want to go in with a red pen and be like, okay, you want to say how long will I have to properly prepare? That's what she's trying to say. But I feel like she wrote more coherently earlier.
Newbie says, does anyone know what her career was before this happened? I don't know if she was working. I think she did well in school. She was like an A+ student.
Yeah, her spelling is amazing.
It's pretty good. She copied a lot of vocabulary words on the last letter.
She did.
So she did a lot of practice. What happens when more time must be utilized to discover where my lost discovery is? This lost discovery bit. If she's referring to the first two boxes, she's got it. Like before the judge got this letter, she had her discovery. I've been asking for repeatedly for depositions to locate my witnesses, contact anyone via collect phone calls. That's a real hurdle.
I imagine that is a real hurdle. Can you imagine trying to say, hey, will you come to my court case?
You have a collect call from inmate. Yeah.
Click.
Yeah, that's, let's see. Wait to receive transcripts, any records, everything I need to finally build my defense. Or is your plan to your honor to just leave me out to dry and in a hurricane? What's the hurricane? I mean, is she talking about the actual weather in Florida?
No, I think what she's saying is, this is so bad. You're not only ignoring me, you're throwing me into a natural disaster, right, of emotional and, time preparation, everything. It is just as bad as you can possibly imagine it.
Okay. Your time constraints are extreme and unreasonable. Your decision to claim you have considered from your order is illogical and unfair, specifically that it has been malformed by your ignorance. This is never good to start off your court case by letting the judge know that he's malformed. I think misinformed would be the right word, but malformed.
No, I think she means malformed. That your order has been malformed.
Is malformed. Okay.
Because of your ignorance.
By your ignorance, inexperience of my case.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
That should be one word, I think.
Could be. Yeah.
Misinterpretations, straight lies from the attorneys appointed. They are brazen to stand at your pulpit in your courtroom and commit perjury to your face and the world. What I get from Sarah Boone is that her brain is going faster than she can write with these feelings.
I also get that in her handwriting. It's just less pretty, less clear. She looks like she's writing really fast.
Yeah, this was a quick one. But yet it's me.
I think by that she means it's all me. It's all,
yeah. That at least everyone's saying, or he's saying it's my fault. It is my belief and from your order that actions speak louder than words. The court is sabotaging me, forcing me, pressuring me, setting me up for failure. if any of the prior attorneys would have included, cared, collaborated during their time of representation, you not being brainwashed, impartial from believing everyone over me, and implementing your intricately misconstrued, unfair order formulated from, I would not be writing yet another letter, would I? Okay, well,
parse that one. Wow.
You would be writing another letter, Sarah. This is what you do. You write letters. That's your part. I think she's actually got a surprise, and she got it on the 9th. I think in those 2 boxes of discovery, Attorney Cashman had her notes for trial. The witness list, the subpoenas, everything that they've got, she's got everything put together. I think Attorney Cashman was ready to move forward with this. The only problem she had was with her client. And so if she goes through those boxes, she's probably going to find notes, even questions to ask specific witnesses on depositions, cross-examination points that she wants to draw out of the investigation that might not have been done correctly. I think if she really goes through her stuff, she'll find sort of what Darrell Brooks did. And there were times where he found those notes and started asking really intelligent questions that were actually written out by his previous lawyer. In the meantime, while your clock ticks ceaselessly and loud, as I wait for you to deliver anything, even more fingers are noticed. They really do point back.
So I feel like what she's saying there is everybody's pointing their finger at me. You know how they just if you point.
It's like when you point at me, you've got 4 pointing back at you, or 3, 3 or 4. It depends how many fingers you have on your hand.
I think that's what she's saying there.
Yeah, you point at me, but you've got more pointing back at you. And I am defending myself against your inaccurate, libelous, I can write letters to order.
Okay, so that is incorrect. That is not libel. I don't know that she understands what libel means, but that is certainly not what libel is.
Let me find the judge's letter. Where did she get the I can write letters to bit?
I don't know if he actually said that out loud, but it was certainly implied in how he wrote
granting it. Motion to withdraw. I think that's what it was. Oh, I need to re-pull it up here. Just one second. The judge did a little bit of snark. Not so much that they're like an appellate court would look at that and say, yeah, that's bias, but enough that judges put a little bit of humor, situational humor into some of their writing sometime, and I think it's what he did here. Let me look at this. It was a motion to withdraw. Okay. Charge for second-degree murder. This is a 16-page document. Okay, forfeiture of right to counsel, waiver by conduct. I can't remember where he put it. I'll have to find it. But there was a little bit of snark where he counted how many days. Yeah, we'll get back to it. Let's see. I can write letters to order. Please, would you post my included document in your break room? Okay, so let me read this whole sentence. While your clock ticks ceaselessly and loud as I wait for you to deliver anything, even more fingers are noticed. They really do point back, and I am defending myself against your inaccurate, libelous, I can write letters to order. Please, would you post... I think that it should be a period instead of a comma. Please, would you post my included document in your break room where you think it may be seen and understood, unlike me in your courtroom, who is saying I'm not seen or understood in your courtroom.
Kind of funny. But by the same token, when you read that fast, I understood it differently, that she's saying she actually has to defend herself against his order, his written order that said I can write letters to, that she's getting crap from probably people on the inside, that she's having to defend herself against that.
And then she proposes a method. How about by the copy machine, like post it by the copy machine, where your judicial assistants should have made me, the news crews, court TV, professional YouTubers, and photographers, the world, a copy of the notice of hearing where all aforementioned improprieties occurred, and then some, including the drop-off of my case materials, said order being ordered, and me being pulled by my uniform to exit your courtroom while still trying to speak and defend myself against all the mayhem and chaos, especially the surprise, even being there unprepared. She jumped from what should have been copied on the copy machine Like the
Yeah, it's almost like she's like, above the copy machine needs to be a constant updated record of what's happening in my case.
I think she thinks that the court is sending us all this stuff. Like the copy machine is just going 24/7, sending out her private case information to news crews, court TV, professional YouTubers, and photographers. A copy of the notice of the hearing, because we get those, but she didn't. Apparently, she found out from the corrections officer, and being pulled by my uniform, said being ordered, and me being pulled by my uniform to exit your courtroom while still trying to speak and defend myself against all the mayhem by my uniform, the jail outfit.
Did you see that? I have not seen that. Did you get pulled out?
I didn't see the last one. I didn't watch. I guess she went screaming and kicking out of the courtroom. Trying to speak and defend myself against all the mayhem and chaos, especially the surprise of being there unprepared and without notice. Oh wait, my posting everything supposedly is public record. This is written in sarcastic font, and there is no notice at all. Another "it's in your favor" moment. Like this is complete snark right there. Another "it's in your favor" moment. It's a group effort, saboteurs.
Yeah, this is just bad idea. If you're about to be judged by this person, don't lead with this.
Surprise. I don't know. What's our surprise count? We're like 6 now in the letter. I shall return. Nothing is impossible. Believe. Hopeful, grateful.
Grateful?
And waiting.
Don't get a lot of gratitude off of this.
Thank you. And then thank you for posting. She has gone from belittling people like us who do share this information and review it online.
And let's be honest, we mock her a little bit.
We do a little bit, but I think she opens herself up to that just a tiny bit. Thank you for posting. Now this actually serves in her interest because she's flipped the script a little bit and said, you know what, I'm going to use those who share this information to share my one-page classified ad for...
Which, it's kind of smart. It's
ISA, inmate seeking attorney. Looking for a prosperous challenge? Can you imagine somebody straight out of law school being like, you know what? I'm just going to go big right now. I just passed the bar
in flames.
Here in Florida. I just, why not? Why not? Let's just let's do this thing. Sarah Boone, this is my first case. Let's do this. I will be your attorney. I have nothing else on my docket. I will, do all the prep work in the conference room of the jail. Ready for your close-up on national television. You need somebody who's, got some fire and able to talk to the media with, with a good spin. So you need probably a former political consultant of some sort. Are you zealous with a side of keen? Or side of Kemosabe? What?
Keen? Meaning sharp-witted?
Zealous with a side of keen. Show the world who you are with original creativity. So you submit a portfolio of other classified ads that you've created. Extraordinary expertise, confident ingenuity. Qualifications must include being trustworthy, honest, passion-driven, open-minded, exceptional problem-solving skills. Client inclusion at all times. That is, this is impossible with an incarcerated client. You cannot.
Scott, you've been talking about maybe wanting to become a lawyer at some point. This could be your moment.
Nope. Nope.
Just consider.
First of all, Florida is not one of the states that allows you to take the bar without going to school.
Well, I don't know. They might in this case, fine, take it.
Look, if you're willing to take this case, we'll give you an exception. Like Virginia, you can just take the bar. You don't have to go to school, and if you pass it, which is highly unlikely without going to school, but if you pass it, you can become a lawyer. Not so in Florida. You have to
catch me if you can.
Yeah. Let's see. Extreme efficiency in listening, communicating, and understanding. Dedication to success. Possessing a winning mindset.
Scott, this is just you. It's like your own personal description right there.
I'm going to mute her mic. Capability of excellence and representation.
Look at how well you're representing her.
She's gone down her list of lawyers that she's had previously and said, I need the opposite of what they were.
Yeah.
right?
I do think so.
So what we have lawyers that she didn't trust. She felt were dishonest with her, that had no drive, had just, tunnel vision on what they wanted to do.
One of them die?
No, he was really sick, though, and hurt his back. The one before Cashman. Exceptional problem-solving skills. There's probably... This is pointing to that piece of evidence, right? By the piece of evidence, I'm talking about her cell phone.
Go find it.
No, she has that cell phone video.
Oh, solve that problem.
We have a problem, and we need you. One died of frustration, says Bob.
So sad.
But she needs that fixed, and she probably doesn't know how to fix it. She's looking at the lawyer like, look, it's your job. How do you make that go away? How do you make that evidence not come in? Okay. I don't remember taking the film, so don't let it count against me. Client inclusion at all times, that you can't get that. Team orientation, that's...
Well, you heard that a lot, though, that he was like, she's got my personal cell phone, she's calling me at home, and that's that client inclusion at all times. You need to be available to take my call anytime I feel like talking to you about anything.
Yeah, day or night. Home and cell.
Scott, you have a burner.
I do.
Just saying.
I'm halfway.
You're ready
I'm really
for this.
qualified for this position. I am. Team orientation. Okay, we've used this example in the past, but when I go to the doctor and say like I have like pain in my shoulder after a car accident, we don't really collaborate much on how to fix that.
Yeah.
He doesn't be like, well, we've got a couple options. We've got this medieval torture device that might reset where your shoulder is. We've got some cortisone shots. You might just try to walk it off and see if it gets better. No, we don't collaborate. He presents a treatment plan, and I say, yeah, I'm okay. You're the doctor. If that's going to fix it, let's do that. And I get the cortisone shot, and I'm like, wow, that hurt. You should have told me that sooner. When it comes to lawyers, they're sort of the same way. They're not sitting there saying, all right, client, how are we going to get you off? What was your idea? Because I don't have one. So clearly you've been thinking about this for a little longer than I have. Help me out here. No, they're probably going to look at all the information, look at the evidence first, look at what's going to be brought into court against you, all that discovery, and say, okay, here's where I see the weakness. Here's where they can make their case. They can see the elements of the charge that you're charged with and how they're going to prove it. And they're like, here's where I think we can best fight. And if we can just knock off one of these elements, then that charge might get knocked down to a lower one. But unless you're looking at this and like, hey, they have nothing on you. They have nothing on you. There's no one that placed you at the crime scene. There's no evidence that says you were there. And, unless you've got a situation like that, they're not going to say, look, we're going with the I'm innocent defense. And no lawyer's looking at this case saying, hey, let's go with the I'm innocent defense. And that's what she wants. She wants somebody to look at her and say, there's no guilt. There's no dirt on you because you did not intend for this to happen like this. Krista, thank you very much for gifting 5 memberships. Thank you. Love that. Good people receive them. Welsh Lady Reed says, as much as I find the letters hilarious because of audacity, we must remember the attorneys all 8 have not been given their side of the coin. They can't.
That's true, Welsh Lady, that they've had to stay lip-zipped the whole time.
And they'll continue that way. And RA having a law degree is not included in quals. Unfortunately, the way the law is written, the judge will think that should, it's just be included in the classified ad. Practicing the law without a license is a crime unless you're doing it in your own defense. That's the only exception. Let's see. Dedication to success. Let me go back. Extreme efficiency in listening. She's struggled to communicate with previous lawyers. Mostly because she talks a lot. And we know that because we saw her interrogation video. When she feels like she's in a corner and people aren't listening, she keeps talking, and she'll talk to you until you believe and understand. So she needs somebody who will listen and then understand. By understand, she means agree.
Yes.
This understanding, it means agreement, not understanding. Dedication to success, possessing a winning mindset. Clearly,
I love that. They've got quitter talk. That's what's happening. Yeah. All of her lawyers are just quitters.
I ain't got quit in me. No, some of her lawyers must have clearly told her that, look, you might want to prepare yourself for a guilty verdict on this. Okay, because this is an uphill road to hoe, and it's not going to, this is not one you're going to walk away from. We can try to lessen it somewhat, but this is bad. Capability of excellence in representation. I think that she just wants the perfect lawyer. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe with shoulder angels and everything. Committed. This is, I think, speaking to time.
Yeah.
Okay. Because she's had previous lawyers who had a busy workload and have said to her, both in letters and to the court, that, look, I can't dedicate all my time to Sarah Boone. I have other cases as well. She wants somebody who has no other cases or can commit all that time to her. And you don't find that. You don't find that with a free attorney, with a court appointed.
Yeah, that's true.
They generally have a workload, a caseload, and you're one of a stack of folders. Maintaining faith in the client and case with the ability to think differently. I think she's talking about ethics right here. Think differently.
Ethics must be optional.
What if you told the court that this was the case? No, the attorneys, they have an ethical obligation. And I think she wants, we've heard a couple of them complain about that they cannot proceed with what the client wants them to do. So I think she's wanting someone who will fudge those lines a little bit and then overcome
quite
all
curious
circumstances.
about that. What ethical consideration are they having a problem with? Because it almost seems like, what is that phrase that people use when they get divorced? Irreconcilable
differences.
Yeah. It sounds like that. It's like, I don't really know what to call this. I'm just going to throw it under this banner and make it go. It's an ethical consideration. Don't ask me any questions. But what if it was literally an ethical problem? Like, what ethical problem could she possibly be presenting to them? Is she asking them to lie?
Possibly. Yeah.
Okay, all right. There you go.
A lawyer can't present facts they know to be false to the court. They can't even, if their witness presents facts they know to be false to the court, they have a duty to correct it. Like, they have to stand up and say, actually, Judge, Your Honor, can we approach? Because he just lied. I know it's a lie. He was not supposed to, he should not have said that. That's not true. And I have personal knowledge that it's false. We don't see that very much.
No.
Mom of three, welcome to the gallery. Thank you very much. Epic opportunity awaits. This epic opportunity that she's talking about here, I think she realizes how difficult this task is. I think at some level that's sunk in. That, I mean, she's not just saying it's an opportunity for you to have all the cameras on you, but to be victorious in defending Sarah Boone would be epic.
Maybe.
Because the odds are so much against you. So that's the epic opportunity, but reality, on the other hand, is pending doom. Sarah Boone, there's her number. Contact her at the Orange County Corrections Department. Invest in the oppressed. And it's a stamp. I was wondering if she had like a cool stamp or something, but not so. Nothing interesting on the cover. Just written to the judge directly. Legal mail. There we go. All right.
So say that you're the judge and you're getting this kind of correspondence. Is it going to be difficult to maintain your neutrality after having been called out?
I don't think so. I think this judge can handle. Most judges have a thick skin, right? They've pretty much seen it all and heard it all from a lot of different people, and they're not going to be like, oh my goodness, they called me a bad name, or they think I did a poor job. Am I really doing a poor job? That probably isn't the case. They're looking at this and they can see they're following the rules. They're following everything appropriately the way they should. And, they're not going to be too upset. Now, if she went to the next level and just like got really absurd with the name calling, got really personal, started bringing his family into it, things like that, then you might see a judge really crack down on it a little bit. But let's see. Let's see. Can we send it to Uncivil? We could.
I think it's public.
It's public. I can send it to him though. Can this not be your defense? Temporary insanity is often tied to intoxication, and courts have recognized intoxication as valid grounds to assert the defense. I don't think so in Florida. I don't think Florida allows the intoxication defense. She ends it with believe. I think she's trying to convince herself. What's good enough for Hillary Clinton? No. Okay, so we got political really quick there. Just no on the politics. So Lawnmower Live now. We might do a Lawnmower Live. Mrs. R.A. is pushing for that one. Better Call Saul. She starts off calling him honorable in quotes. Oh, yes. She did that in her last letter as well. A lot of shade thrown that way. I don't know. I wonder if this will work. I mean, I'm not an attorney, clearly. I'm not an attorney that is in a position to
This is no
defend
excuse,
her.
Scott. You can totally do this.
I might be able to pass the bar before a trial, but no, that would just be...
Can you do it before tomorrow when motions are need to be sent in?
Probably not. Have to go to law school between now and September.
And tomorrow.
Yeah, and tomorrow. All right. We saw this letter. We thought we wanted to bring it to you right away. I say we because Mrs. Ari has helped me. Thank you, Mrs. Ari, for joining me once again on the stream.
Thanks. I was just coming in here to hide, but thank you.
To tell me to go out and fix the lawnmower.
No, I was coming in to make our thing. We're making a cool...
We're making a bingo travel for the kids.
Yeah. All the different things we're going to stop at so that they'll have something to try to find on their papers. That's why I came in.
Yeah. And I need to get off the computer, so she says, oh, you just need to believe. Just need to believe. It's like Peter Pan, right?
A little sprinkle of fairy dust.
We might do a Lawnmower Live. I've got, you know what I have to do? I have to tear off, I still don't have the one piece I need.
The hose? The vacuum hose?
Yeah. I haven't ordered it because I don't know how.
No, remember you said you were going to change out the carburetor because you thought maybe the cleaning wasn't sufficient.
Yeah. I'm going to change the carburetor.
It's hot, though.
It's hot, which means I'm just going to be sweating bullets and working out in the yard, getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. One day we're going to get you like a camera so you can join us.
What? Oh, here. I thought you meant outside by the
no,
lawnmower.
I'm just thinking if you keep joining me, people deserve to see that you're here.
This feels like a punishment.
Or I get to sit over there. You can sit in the hot seat.
Yeah.
Under the lights.
It is hot. That is true.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, he can't put stuff on my counter because today is my kids have friends over and they have all set up computers all over the place, and on my kitchen counter they are playing games.
Yeah, they're networking all over in the other room. They've got everything going on right now. All right, this cable needs to go up. It should go through right here. You know that?
I was thinking that.
Now I'm just gonna bug. Now it's completely ruined. I broke the whole thing. Okay, I have to fix this. I will fix that after. Need a remote control lawnmower with a GoPro.
Nice. Yeah. Why with the GoPro? We could just like
so we could
program
live stream
it.
So we could
Oh yeah, that's true. There were some people who came once and visited it, and their job was to they programmed the tractors that planted the cornfields for corn mazes.
Yes,
and they were brilliant.
They visited. They were from across the country, and we bumped into them in Greenville and at church. And they're like, yeah, our job. We travel the country planting corn mazes.
Yeah, and to begin with, we were like, get a real job. But
like,
my gosh.
Really? He's like, yeah. And it's like, not only is it a thing, but it's like highly lucrative, and they have top-notch, like satellite-based location mapping, and every kernel is intentionally placed. It's the craziest thing.
I legitimately thought that you just planted a field and then you kind of mowed down the parts that you wanted to leave for the maize. No, they grow it like that.
Yep. I thought there was aliens making crop
circles.
So now we know that the crop circles were planted that way. So.
But did the aliens bring snow? That's what I want to know.
That's from yesterday.
I know.
You were paying attention. Krista says, I vote for RA and Mrs. RA live. Q&A, members only live. Tell all. I've never done a members only. I don't think I will.
We practically do a members only every single time you go live.
Yeah.
Like so many people are members.
Yeah, we don't have any non-members, which is awesome. Let's see. Same right should apply to all defendants, says Lenova. I feel like Sarah Boone case, it's seen as funny because of her and what she did, but I find it troubling. It is. If she didn't waive her right to a speedy trial, that's for me, that is the big issue on her case. If she did not waive it and a lawyer forged her name, she should be case dismissed today. And I don't care that she's guilty as sin in a lot of people's eyes, and she would be getting out scot-free because the system has to work that way. It has to work. You can't be held indefinitely in court, in jail without your day in court. I could lay out cornrows. There you go. Sarah has rights, but that doesn't mean she can't waive them even unintentionally.
Oh, I see what you did there.
I think she has to intentionally waive her right to a speedy trial, and I wish we could find out some details on that.
But she also has the right to be represented by a lawyer, and she has waived that right.
Yeah.
Unintentionally.
I will say that the judge finding that she, no longer qualified to receive a court-appointed lawyer, the judge reached that conclusion before I did. I was giving her the benefit of the doubt that really she had a couple bad lawyers at the beginning, and some of them she never got it shot with because they were conflicted. So you can't say all 8 of them were her problem. Q says, I'll be quiet. Thanks. Oh, Q, you're welcome. Thanks for being here.
Nikki has a good thought there.
Ari, maybe it's the ethical issue. Maybe she keeps trying to say her lawyer forged her name. She's never come out and said that someone forged her name. She has come out, I think this was in probably the 5th letter or so, where she said, I've never waived my right to a speedy trial. I've never signed anything to waive that. And that, for me, that raised a red flag. I'm like, okay, I know that there are a lot of things when you get arrested and when you get arraigned and, through court hearings, your lawyer has to sign a lot of paperwork, right? There's, trial reset dates and everything else. You watch Judge Boyd. She's like, okay, as soon as you sign this form, we'll get you the reset. There's a lot of paperwork that goes on in the court process. So it could have been that she signed and didn't realize, which would be bad because her lawyer should inform her about everything that she's signing. But yeah, I hope that she's actually waived that right. Maybe MLS will represent her. If you know what the hell's, okay. Well, that's Florida as well. I think they pretended they had a conflict. The conflict was between them and their client, and I think it was caused by her. Let's see. She has lied about loads of stuff. She lied in her interrogation, so we know that she's able to do that. Carolina, hello, new subscriber here, and I saw this absurd letter earlier. Sarah. Carolina, we have read every one of Sarah's letters. They're all on the playlist. You can go back and look at all of them. But welcome. It's good to have you here. Welcome. You can never leave now. It's a one-way door. I should have told you that before you came in, but you're here now. Thank you. You're among friends. Red Pen says, I got to go. My more company just arrived. See you soon. Love you all. Happy weekend.
Good job, Red Pen.
I think on that note, we should probably start the weekend. I've been stalling, but the lawnmower needs to be fixed, and apparently it's not going to do it itself. So, yeah, lawnmower, here we come. Because of the video she filmed the night of, she's screwed.
You gotta admit, that plays in.
What is it, 2 videos and a still image or something?
I don't know. I know that they exist. I've never seen them.
You don't want to. They are terrible. They're absolutely terrible. Hearing George call out, Sarah, I can't breathe. That's going to be played, and that will be all the jury needs to hear.
Yeah.
You've got George naming Sarah, okay? So you know that's her. You've got Sarah with a drunk voice mocking him, saying, this is how I feel when you choke me, this is how I feel when you cheat on me, all this.
But truly, if I were a lawyer, I'd go with battered wife syndrome. That's her response. That's what I'd be going with.
The problem is she told the interrogators that everything was great. There wasn't any problem.
That doesn't matter. Abused wives often will say that.
I don't know. Might be her best shot. All right, you guys, thank you very much for joining us. Tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe till we go live again. Monday morning, we may have a delay in the Ashley Benefield case. If that is the case, if the delay that they've filed for on the Ashley Benefield side. If that continuance gets granted, then we'll be picking up. I guess the only thing we have is Judge Beverly. We've got Karen Reed. Big hearing on Monday. That's going to be a huge one. Anyway, we'll have some great stuff for you on Monday for sure. You guys stay safe. Have yourself a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you on the flip side. Any last words from you?
You guys are awesome. Thanks for coming on the weekend.
She usually says, you guys are doing a great job. You're doing a better job than you think you are. Or
what you guys do matters so much, and you're doing a much better job than you think you are. Keep it up.
All right. We'll see you guys. Bye-bye.